Hey everybody, I decided to do a little bit easier problem today on the simplification that we started yesterday. So go ahead and pause the video and then you should be able to write everything out. And like I've told you in the past, it's a really good idea to highlight factors that are the same. All right, I'm gonna get right into it. So these are expressions, they're not equations, and you just have to learn how to condense them down. This is gonna mean something in calculus, and if you can factor these like GCFs, it's gonna make your world just that much easier. So right here, most of the time we multiply the 2 times 2, but as you can see, the 2x is part of that GCF, so I'm going to keep that separate. But a lot of times, like I said, you'd want to simplify that. So I'm going to bring out the GCF, and I'm going to remember that I have a negative sign out in front. And then I will keep symbols, and I think you're going to find this a lot easier, which is why I'm trying to do like one a day so that it's not overwhelming for you. And maybe you already got to this point by yourself. Okay, remember how the rule works here. We want to factor out the smallest exponent. Smallest exponent. Okay, so this is, and you should already be recognizing that that parentheses is the difference of squares. So you should already be seeing that. So I'm just going to put the 1 here just to emphasize that we are only pulling out 1 parentheses. And then we're going to put everything else in the garbage. So you'll notice there's no fractional exponents on this one. I wanted to start hard on harder problems, as you know, as I stated before, and the reasons why. So here, what I have left is, this is 2x, that's gone. I have a power 1, and that's gone. So remember, you're subtracting the exponents. 2 minus 1 is 1, so I have 1 parentheses left over. Okay, and it's to the power 1 again. I'm not going to write that this time, but it is to the power 1. Now, this was factored out, this was factored out, and so I'm left with 2, and then this guy here. And you do see that the plus sign exists in the problem, so it's not a common factor. So just make sure you're keeping track of all your signs and everything. And then down below, I already have this expression already simplified, so you just leave it alone, and you're going to work to the next step. See, isn't it easier today? Also, I picked an easier one, but also I think you're probably understanding it a little bit more. So good job for persevering, and we're going to just keep continuing. So x squared minus 1. And then we're going to simplify the inside, and that shouldn't be any big deal to you. I'm just copying stuff down. Simplification is what takes, you know, multiple stages of these calculus problems that you're going to be doing. This is not a calculus problem because it doesn't include some of the notation that you need for next year. So all we're doing is simplifying. And then what do we have here? We have 3. Okay, so it's a really good idea to keep this particular example positive. So if you look here, I can factor out a negative sign. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to factor the negative 1 out. So in your head, you're thinking, oh, I'm factoring the negative 1 out. So it's going to change all the signs there in the next line. So be aware of that. So I'm going to stick it out in the front so you don't forget it exists, but you know it's going to go positive. But I want to make sure you're understanding that step on that way. So I factored it out, so it's x squared plus 3. Remember, x squared plus 3 does not factor, but you always want to check to see that it does. And then I just copy the bottom down, right? All right, so now I have my plus, so I can leave that off. So that's very exciting. Now what you want to do is you want to look to see, is the parentheses in the top or a factor exactly like one of the factors in the bottom? And the answer again is yes. So you can simplify this even more. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to go back and erase this because I just want to make sure you're following along and knowing where things are going. Okay, so we're going to subtract the exponents. So the 3 is bigger, so we're going to put the 3 in the denominator, power 3. So let's say the 4 was bigger on the top. Let's say I just switched it around. It means that the power 3 would be on the top. Okay, so I'm looking at which power is bigger. That's where we're going to locate that expression in the problem. So I now do not have that parentheses, which I just wanted to cross out, and this goes down to 3. And then finally what I have left is x squared plus 3. And that should have felt really great for you.